evening and welcome to our weekly news programme. It's just past 6 o'clock on Saturday the 11th of January. And in the news this week, residents in Weymouth are not happy after multiple failures of the electricity supply recently and once again being left in the dark. The western area of Weymouth suffered its fourth power cut in 2 weeks, and this came just a few hours after the electricity company SSEN messaged residents to say a previous fault on Tuesday morning had been fixed, and it anticipated no further problems. The latest outage came at around 6:30 p.m. on Tuesday, as SSEN conducted emergency repairs and dug up part of Abbotsbury Road Western, with temporary traffic lights in place. More than 400 customers were without power for several hours, and some did not get power back until the early hours of Wednesday morning. While the previous three outages had largely been in daylight hours, the cut on Tuesday night, with temperatures dipping below freezing, affected a wider area as well as streetlights and left many concerned as they scrambled for torches and candles. Many were without heating, and freezers had to be emptied of food due to items defrosting. One resident said, "I received a message from SSEN after a power cut on Tuesday morning saying there had been a faulty piece of equipment and that engineers had made repairs. The message said that they weren't experiencing any further issues. I understand we have power cuts from time to time, but that was the third one since Christmas Eve. It was disruptive as we woke up in the morning without power and had to get the children ready to do breakfast with no electricity. Thankfully, it was on again by about 8:10. Now, the first cut, which lasted about 2 to 3 hours, was on Christmas Eve and affected homes in Abbotsbury Road and Newstead Road areas, including Holly Road, Highland Road and Cromwell Road. The same area was affected by an outage on the afternoon of Sunday, January the 5th, which lasted about an hour. The power then went off again at 4 a.m. until around 8 or 9 a.m. on Tuesday. And then obviously the final one on Tuesday evening going through to Wednesday morning. SSEN said it was due to a damaged link box affecting 57 customers. And the outage on Tuesday night was, according to SSEN, due to a separate fault. As it was not planned, people weren't told in advance. Now, a spokesman for SSEN said, "We carried out repairs and restoration work following a power cut in and around the Abbotsbury Road area. This outage, which was unrelated to the previous power cut caused by a damaged link box, was identified by engineers as an underground cable fault outside St Paul's Church." Well, hopefully all of those faults are now resolved, and those people in Western will hopefully have a period now with a stable power supply. Dorset County Hospital Charity Appeal has this week announced they have now raised £500,000 towards their target of £2.5 million for their emergency and critical care appeal. The charity's appeal is funding significant enhancements to the new emergency department and critical care unit, on which construction has already started at the Dorset County Hospital site. The new build emergency department and critical care unit is needed to meet current and future patient demand. The project build is being funded by the government's new hospital programme. The charity's appeal will fund enhanced facilities such as a critical care paediatric bed space, a patient garden, child and adolescent mental health suite, staff rest and welfare facilities, and art for both departments to help make patient care even better, improve facilities for staff and create a sympathetic and healing environment for the benefit of all. Head of charity at the hospital, Simon Pearson, said, "We are extremely grateful for all the wonderful support of our local community, organisations and businesses in helping us to achieve this important milestone. Our appeal has built significant momentum, and with the continued generous support of the community which Dorset County Hospital serves, we will continue to work hard to achieve our appeal target. We are here to support and help you with your events and your fundraising, so please get in touch to find out how you can help support the appeal." Now, one of the major fundraising events which has supported the appeal was the DCH 100 2024 Jurassic Coast Challenge, which involved over 50 participants walking or running along the Jurassic Coast. And this raised an amazing £111,000. Yes, £111,000. Now, if you want to find out more about the appeal or supporting the DCH charity, then go to their specific website, www.dchcharity.org.uk. That's www.dchcharity.org.uk. Now, the restoration of the old rectory in St Thomas Street, Weymouth, by local property developer DJ Property is progressing well. Over the last 3 months, the Grade 2 listed Georgian property has seen its original windows and doors replaced at a cost of £130,000. It was hoped that the building could be ready by winter, but the weather has forced some work to be delayed. Currently, the final use of the building is unknown, as previous plans for it to host the Jurassic Coast Museum have failed through a grant not being secured by the Trust, who were to run the museum. In total, 22 original style windows, repairs to 2 ground floor windows and the restoration of the 2 main entrance doors have now been completed. And the work has been carried out by Phil Sharp of Sharp Carpentry Limited, a specialist in heritage projects. Mickey Jones, Chief Executive DJ Property, said the large sash windows are one of the standout features of the rectory, but they were sadly in appalling condition. Phil Sharp and his team have done an exceptional job restoring the building's Georgian character while ensuring its structure is preserved for the future. Their meticulous attention to detail and commitment to quality craftsmanship are clear in every aspect of the work. There we go. That's the old rectory in the centre of Weymouth. Now, with temperatures that have dropped over recent days and the arrival of snow in some areas of the county, the local NHS is reminding people that cold weather can make some health problems worse and even lead to serious complications for people with a long-term health condition. So the NHS are urging us to follow these tips to keep us and our families warm and well at home this winter. If you're not very mobile and 65 or over, or have a health condition such as a heart or lung disease, then you should keep your house at least 18 degrees centigrade. Keep your bedroom at 18 degrees centigrade all night if you can, and keep bedroom windows closed. If you're under 65, healthy and active, you can safely have your home cooler than 18 centigrade as long as you're comfortable. You can use a hot water bottle or electric blanket to keep warm in bed, but do not use both at the same time. Obviously, water and electricity don't mix. Have at least one hot meal a day. Eating regularly helps you keep warm. Have hot drinks regularly. And to reduce the risk of sudden infant death syndrome, or SIDS, babies should sleep in rooms heated to between 16 and 20 centigrade. Draw curtains at dusk and keep doors closed to block out drafts. And get your heating system checked regularly by a qualified professional. That's the advice from the NHS. And they say, as well as looking after yourself, it's important to look in on vulnerable neighbours and relatives. Check on older neighbours and relatives and those with heart or breathing problems to make sure they are safe and well and warm enough, especially at night. Encourage them to have stocks of food and medicine so that they do not need to go out during very cold weather and increase the risk of becoming ill. If you're worried about a relative or elderly neighbour, contact your local council or call the Age UK helpline on 0800 678 1602, and that is open from 8 a.m. in the morning to 7 p.m. every day. And if you're concerned that somebody may have hypothermia, that's when they get incredibly cold and start to shut down, then you can contact NHS 111 for advice. And also to say, if you're experiencing symptoms of flu or norovirus, that's the winter vomiting disease, please avoid visiting healthcare premises, including hospitals. Obviously, they don't want that passed around. So there we go. And finally, they're saying if you haven't had your winter vaccinations and you are eligible, there is still time. Flu and COVID-19 vaccination walk-in clinics are running until the end of January. And the easiest one in the Weymouth and Portland area is the Linden Unit Community Vaccination Clinic on Radipole Lane. And it's open every Tuesday, 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. That's 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. That's the Linden Unit on Radipole Lane. There we go. That's the advice from the health service at this current time. Now, an inspirational young girl has taken on a fundraiser for a charity close to her heart. Hallie Ray Green from Weymouth developed a love for the emergency services as a young age and was particularly drawn to the RNLI. She has now made it her mission to raise as much money as possible for the Weymouth Lifeboat Station. The 8-year-old has just completed her own version of the RNLI Reindeer Run Challenge, which saw her complete an impressive 310 miles, made up of 286 walking miles and 24 running miles during December. The actual reindeer run encourages those taking part to run 24 miles throughout December, which is 1 mile for every hour RNLI volunteers are on call, even on Christmas Day. Supporting her every step of the way has been her mum, Tasha Green. Tasha said for her challenge, Hallie ran 24 miles throughout December to represent every hour that the lifeboat volunteers are on call on Christmas Day. But that was not enough for her. She wanted to do more. Hallie wanted to do 200 miles to mark the 200th anniversary of the RNLI, and then she got to 200 and she just kept going. I thought it was going to be hard as we lost daylight. There was a lot of rain and it was a lot colder. But if anything, Hallie proved that if you put your mind to it, then it's not that difficult. So well done to Hallie and all her efforts for the RNLI and the Weymouth Lifeboat Station. Now, Dorset Council has set out proposals for £416 million budget for 2025-26. This marks a £39 million increase in spending from last year, injecting much needed funding into essential services for residents, especially vulnerable children and adults. Additional funding includes £14.5 million for adult social care and housing, £1.5 million for children's services and £4 million for place services, including transport, highways and planning. Councils are required by law to set a balanced budget with expenditure equal to revenue. Dorset Council faces rising pressure for services, for example with growing numbers of older people in Dorset who need social care support. The additional cost of service delivery next year is forecast to be £83.4 million, yet council funding is set to be limited by government and this sum is not affordable. So the council's budget proposals therefore outline significant cost-saving measures of around £44 million to be delivered in the following 4 ways. New service grants and incomes to be cut by £12 million, managing and meeting need differently cut by £14 million, reducing third-party spend will save £3 million, and operating more efficiently as a council will save £14.4 million. Now, those seem very tough targets to me on savings. We'll just have to see how they manage. The council has developed a transformation plan to streamline council operations, including increased use of technology, better customer service, working more closely with communities, and lower operating costs. Over the coming years, these charges will result in a slimmer council with fewer staff. To support these initiatives, the council proposed a council tax increase of just under 3% and a 2% adult social care precept. This equates to approximately 24 pence a day for most households. And details will be available with the council tax bills in March online and after the budget is approved by full council on the 11th of February. Staying with Dorset Council, actually, leaders of Dorset, Somerset and Wiltshire councils have submitted a letter to the government to confirm they wish to be considered as part of the devolution priority programme. In a joint statement, the leaders of Dorset, Somerset and Wiltshire councils, Councillor Nick Ireland, Councillor Bill Revens and Councillor Richard Cluer said, "We are pleased to confirm that we have submitted a letter to government showing our collective support for being considered as part of the government's devolution priority programme. Government wishes to progress devolution at pace, and we remain committed to being at the forefront of transformation in local government. Our Wessex proposal aligns well with the aims of the White Paper, encompassing a population of approximately 1.5 million, with scope for further growth should Bournemouth and Christchurch and Poole Council, Swindon Borough Council and North Somerset Council join the partnership. This proposal is not a merger of the 3 councils. Each council will remain independent, continuing to serve its local communities as individual authorities. We believe this scale of devolution ensures clear, accountable leadership to drive economic growth, improve public services and invest in vital infrastructure. This model will see additional powers and funding handed down from central government, unlocking significant opportunities and benefits for our residents and businesses. Wessex is well placed to support the government's growth priorities, particularly in clean energy, defence, digital technologies, life sciences and tourism. There we go. So that's plans for devolution at local government level. Now, a customer community... Oh, we got the wrong one. A customer community improvement fund has been launched by Great Western Railway to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the modern railway. GWR is inviting applications for the 2025 Customer and Community Improvement Fund with a particular focus on projects that connect to the Railway 200 celebrations. As the rail industry reflects on the past 200 years and looks forward to an exciting future, GWR is keen to sponsor projects which celebrate the railway, enhance local communities and address areas of social need. GWR has a long tradition in leading the way in developing the country's railways, from incredible feats of Victorian engineering to innovation making the fastest locomotives in the world and becoming the beating heart of many communities across the southwest. The GWR Customer and Community Improvement Fund supports projects that enable and encourage local people to use the train in the communities the railways serve. From funding an armoured heart sculpture to raising awareness of knife crime in Reading to supporting young people through sports in South Wales, GWR is committed to helping schools, colleges, councils, communities and other not-for-profit organisations by aiding several initiatives. Schemes must show a link to the railway and offer a tangible benefit to customers and the community, with an emphasis on inclusion and diversity, youth engagement, careers in rail and increasing rail travel. So if you've got an idea, then GWR wants to hear from you. Applications must be submitted by Friday the 31st of January at 1 minute to midnight. If you want to learn more, get onto Google and Google GWR Community Improvement. GWR Community Improvement. There we go. Right. Police officers are investigating an assault near Dorchester and are issuing an image of a man they would like to identify. At around 12 p.m. on Thursday the 19th of December, a woman was reportedly assaulted by a man in the Broadmain area. It's alleged the man pushed the victim several times before grabbing her phone and throwing it to the floor. Police Constable Ran Hartman Turner of Dorset Police said, "We are continuing to investigate this incident and we are now in a position to release an image of a man we are looking to identify as part of our inquiries. While I appreciate his face is covered, I'm hoping someone may still know who he is, and I would urge anyone who recognises him to please contact us." Now, we haven't actually got that image, but to see that image, do go onto the Dorset Police website. So if you type Dorset Police News, you will see a picture of that image that they are trying to track down. Of course, if you've got any information on that or any other crime, you can contact Dorset Police by calling 101 or give information anonymously through the Crime Stoppers charity on 0800 555 111. Dorset businesses and organisations are being reminded of their new responsibilities as the government brings in important new legislation around waste and recycling in this year. Simpler Recycling in England is the new set of regulations designed to make recycling easier by standardising recycling and waste collection systems nationwide. Dorset Council currently provides the required core waste collections to households, so there are no immediate changes for residents. But businesses and other organisations will need to check they are following the new rules when they are introduced in the next few months. Businesses, except the very small businesses, which are known as micro businesses, and other non-household municipal premises such as schools, hospitals, village halls and churches, need to be following the new rules by the 31st of March. This means all organisations will need to have separate collection for glass, metal, plastic, paper and cardboard, and for food waste. These items will no longer be accepted when mixed in one general waste bin or bag. Depending on your waste collection provider, most organisations will only need 3 or 4 bins, one for dry mixed recycling like paper, metal, tins, foil and plastics, one for food waste, one for general waste and things that cannot be recycled, and one for glass, which must be kept separate. Micro businesses, those very small businesses with fewer than 10 employees, will have until March 2027 to fulfil the requirements. At this stage, plastic film will also be included in all recycling collections. All businesses are being urged to review their current waste collection and disposal practices and work with their waste collection provider to identify where changes are needed. They may need to invest in new recycling bins, signage, and other measures. There we go. That's new recycling stuff that's coming in the coming months. It's been revealed that Dorset County Hospital made hundreds of thousands of pounds in car parking charges during 23-24. Figures from NHS England reveal that Dorset County Hospital NHS Foundation Trust earned £317,000 in car parking fees in the year to March. All of this was from visitors and patients, with the trust not taking any fees from staff up to that time. The data shows the trust also spent £108,000 on parking services over the same period, meaning in total it made a profit of £209,000 from parking. This money, the hospital says, will be used to maintain the car parks and hospital grounds. A spokesman for Dorset County Hospital said income from parking charges is used for the upkeep of the car parks and hospital grounds, which frees up funds for patient services. We have increased public parking charges for several years and have made exemptions in place for patients who have to visit the hospital frequently. The hospital's finished construction of its new multi-million-pound multi-storey car park in 2022 and has since introduced an automatic number plate recognition on all of its car parks. And finally, in the news this week, a a cappella choir is welcoming new members. The Dorset-based Live Wire Choir is inviting people to join their group at an open event at St Anne's Schoolroom opposite St Anne's Church on Radipole Lane on Monday, this coming Monday, the 13th of January. You do not have to be an experienced choir singer to join, but beginners must be able to hold a tune. No audition is needed, and it's a great opportunity to make new friends. The group meets every Monday from 7:30 to 9:30 at the Radipole St Anne's Schoolroom. Entry to the first session is free, and then it's £7 for each session thereafter. If you're interested in joining, you should contact Julie, who is the coordinator, and she can be contacted on 07747 373 516. That's 07747 373 516. Or by email, Julie Tharwood, that's Julie, Julie, Tharwood, THARWOOD, at hotmail.com. And that's the end of the headlines in tonight's programme. It's now time in our programme tonight to go over to Andrew Wright for this week's film review and preview.
Welcome to White Regis TV Film Review and Preview. I'm Andrew Wright. This weekend, Baby Girl is released wide in UK cinemas. The film stars Nicole Kidman and Harris Dickinson and is an erotic thriller which revolves around Kidman's high-powered CEO who begins an affair with a much younger intern who is the dominant in the relationship. So it's a bit like a Fatal Attraction, Basic Instinct, along those lines. Not actually seen those movies, but hey-ho. The film also stars Antonio Banderas as Nicole Kidman's husband, who she cheats on. The film has received positive reviews from critics, just under 80%, and has been on a lot of critics' top 10 of 2024 film lists, because it was a Christmas Day release in the US and it's going to be on Netflix at some point this year. It also has a slot on the prestigious National Board of Review's top 10 films of the 2024 list. So it is very highly regarded by film critics. Baby Girl is in UK cinemas now. Also released this weekend, A Real Pain is released wide in UK cinemas. The film stars Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin as two mismatched Jewish-American cousins who travel to Poland in an attempt to honour their late grandmother. Jesse Eisenberg also wrote and directed the film. It is a second feature directorial project, and this film is an international co-production between the US and Poland, and the film is filmed on location in Poland. The film received nearly 96% positive reviews from critics and has received various accolades, including Kieran Culkin winning the Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actor. And it's another film that is on the National Board of Review's Top 10 list of 2024 because it came out in November in the US. So yeah, it's a very highly regarded film. A Real Pain is in UK cinemas now. Both Baby Girl and A Real Pain are very highly regarded. I haven't actually directly looked at any reviews for either of them. All I know is they're highly regarded. That's all I have for this week, but be sure to check back next week where I'll be talking about the new Lee Whannell horror film Wolfman. It was originally set to star Ryan Gosling, but that's another thing. And the Bob Dylan biopic, A Complete Unknown, directed by James Mangold. Now back to Gary in the studio.
Thank you very much, Sir Andrew. We'll be back with Andrew next week. It's now time in this week's programme to go to the Met Office for the Saturday evening weather forecast, covering all of the weekend, obviously. And this week we are joined by Jonathan Fortree.
Hello there, very good evening to you. After a cold week of weather, there is signs of a change in fortune during the next few days. The cold air has still been in play today underneath this area of high pressure, but increasingly we're going to see a shift to this much milder stream of air moving in from the southwest. It's mainly going to push into northwestern areas of the UK, Scotland and Northern Ireland, but all of us will eventually see that shift to something a touch milder. If we take a look at temperatures compared to average for the time of year, you can see that Saturday's values have been notably below where we'd expect them to be for January. But fast forward to Monday, and there will be a rebound right across the country, but particularly in Scotland and Northern Ireland. Quite a dramatic increase in temperatures, and now well above average for the time of year. For now though, the cold air is still in play, and it is going to be a chilly evening for eastern Scotland and eastern England. There'll be some freezing fog patches around through the Vale of York down towards East Anglia, quite dense in places. Also some widespread fog possible through Northern Ireland to kick off Sunday morning. Some patches of drizzle possible underneath this cloud in more central areas. Might cause some icy stretches where it's falling on frozen surfaces, because certainly underneath the clearest of the skies we are going to see a frost once again across that eastern half. Further towards the west though, you can see where that milder air is just beginning to creep its way in, allowing those temperatures to hold up on the positive side of the temperature scale. Do bear in mind that the fog will take a little bit of time throughout Sunday morning to clear, so there could be some localised travel issues where it is quite misty and murky during the day. Eventually it will clear, probably quickest in the northwest where we see the winds picking up in strength here and cloud pushing in. Some outbreaks of rain for Northern Ireland, through the Outer Hebrides and into the Highlands also. Generally a calmer day for England and Wales. There will be some sunshine around to enjoy once the fog eventually clears its way off, but temperatures still struggling a touch here, 3-4 degrees Celsius as the top temperatures here, closer towards 8 or 9 further towards the west. Into Monday, low pressure in the northwest and high pressure in the southeast are going to push towards each other and really provide quite a squeeze in the isobars during the day. So it is going to be a much noticeably blusterier day, particularly for Northern Ireland and Scotland. We'll have gales around at times as these pulses of rain swing their way through heavy at times. England and Wales should stay mostly dry, but the cloud will be building, so sunshine will be much hazier on Monday compared to what we will see on Sunday. Temperatures, though, in that southwesterly wind are going to be ticking their way up. So England and Wales rebounding towards average for the time of year, 6-7 degrees Celsius. But just see how high those temperatures are climbing now for Scotland and Northern Ireland into double digits, 12-13 degrees Celsius. It is worth noting though, with this quite dramatic increase in temperatures, we are going to see a very rapid thaw of the snow that's been falling over the last week. So there might be some localized issues where we see some surface water developing on roads as that snow does begin to melt. So it is worth taking care over the next few days as that does occur. We'll have plenty more updates of what you can expect during the forthcoming week, so subscribe to the YouTube channel for all of those, and we'll see you again here very soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Jonathan, for the weekend weather forecast. It's now time for us to have a look and see what's coming up down here on the south coast over the coming week. And as we can see, the good news is, hopefully from tomorrow, that it will be dry. We will have some sunny spells, and the temperature is quite mild for the time of year, with daytime lows of about 8 degrees. It could be dropping overnight, though, obviously much lower than that. So hopefully a dry week ahead. Now turning to the what's on for the coming weeks. First of all, Weymouth Pavilion. 17th of January, a tribute to the Pet Shop Boys. 19th of January, comedian Ed Byrne. 7th of February, Absolute Reggae. 8th of February, Disco Inferno. 12th of February, Shakespeare by the Sea. And the 13th and 14th of February, comedian John Bishop. Just a selection of some of the shows that are coming up at Weymouth Pavilion in the next few weeks. To say it is just a selection. There is lots more on, and obviously the more you look on to the future, more choice as well. If you're interested in any of those shows or to see what else is on at the Pavilion, do go onto their website, weymouthpavilion.com, or for buying tickets, either do that online or at the box office 01305 783 225. Now, the Nose Fort is currently shut for some winter maintenance, but opens again in February. And the first event that will be on at the Nose Fort is the 15th to the 23rd of February, which is the World War II week and family activities. So that's 15th to the 23rd of February. Then they've got their Science Weekend on the 8th and 9th of March. More information on those and other events as they put them up are available on the Noathfort website, noathfort.org.uk. And finally on our What's On this week, Arts Reach. A few things coming up at Arts Reach in the immediate area. 7th of January, to warm the winter, Blandford Parish Council. 19th of January, Havisham, Burton Bradstock Village Hall. 31st of January, Joy at West Stafford Village Hall. And then the 2nd of February, Joy at Shipton Gorge Village Hall. And on the 14th of February, Last Dance Studios at Portisham Village Hall. Now, to see the whole range of everything that's happening with Arts Reach across the whole of Dorset, and to book tickets, pop along to their website, artsreach.co.uk. And finally, this week, to say that church services in Wyke, Regis tomorrow, 8 o'clock and 9:30 communion to All Saints Church, and 11 o'clock at St Edmunds is a basic service of the word tomorrow. Of course, our other programme, our weekly Saturday evening quiz, will be on at 7:30 tonight, and you're very welcome to join us. That's very community focused and family friendly, and most importantly, it's free of charge, no catches. So there we go. That's the all we've got for you this week. If you've got any news or events for us, do share them with us at news@wykeregis.tv. We would love to hear from you. Other than that, I do hope you have a good weekend and a good week ahead, and look forward to being back with you next Saturday at 6 o'clock. Good night.